Howdy YouTube. This is the first Down Home Gaming with Andrew of 2026. I thought I'd start the year out with a classic from when I was a kid. This one is called Breath of the Dragon. It was released by English Software in 1985, written by Martin J. Cawley, and unfortunately that's all I really know about it from the internet. It was only released as part of a compilation called Atari Smash Hits Volume 3 alongside better known English software releases like Jet Boot Jack. But this somehow it found its way to user groups frequented by my uncle and parents, and that's how I got to play it when I was a kid. It's a maze game where you jump around on platforms and try to avoid enemies and other hazards in the cave trying to find the exit. You also have to watch your energy meter. If you run out of energy, your game ends regardless of how many lives you have. And your energy goes down pretty quickly, so it adds an extra element of stress to the game. Alright, well let's take a look at it. Alright, so Breath of the Dragon has 6 levels, and of course the higher number levels are more complex and bigger. So we'll just stick with Maze 1 so we can hopefully see everything this game has to offer. Alright. So, the jumping takes a little to get used to. You can control the direction and force of your jump. You have to avoid both hitting your head on the spikes as well as stubbing your toe on the stalagmites. There's some pointy things at the bottom. So this is one of the boss rooms. They're outlined on the map at the bottom in yellow. They'll either have 3 energy balls or they'll have a gateway. This one has 3 energy balls. Gives you an extra life as well as 300 units of energy. Yep. You can die just by stubbing your toe on a stalagmite. Always found that bouncing noise to be rather comical. Every time you go through a doorway, you lose 5 units of energy. And that gateway is the object of the maze, of course. Alright, I made it through that room without getting killed. You have to watch out when you're ducking because you can slam your head into a stalagmite. That yellow thing is called an eagle in the instructions. It's the most common enemy in the game. Alright, that was pretty close. Alright, you want to make sure before you go to the gate that you have enough energy to make it through the second part of the game. Alright, let's run over here and get the extra life. The more extra lives and energy we have for the second part of the game, the better. Alright. You can burn through your lives pretty quickly in this game. There are also these enemies as well. this. This is the hardest boss level in the game. It's the collapsing burning floors. If you make it across the burning floors, it's kind of hard to make it back. Here and get an extra life. Just have to watch that dragon, make sure he time and jump so that. Alright, I think I've definitely got enough energy to make it through the rest of the game. So. Around to that room. Try to show you another couple of things before we clear the level. There's a couple of enemies that show up that we haven't seen yet. Every time I do this, I'm losing 5 units energy. Okay, so that's one of the other enemies. There are also spiders that crawl along the floor. Dragons aren't really too hard to deal with. Not like they chase you. Okay. So this is the second part of the game. You have to find the exit to this level. Only now you've got to deal with this eagle that flies up and down it all around. There are also no energy pellets in this level, so if you run out of energy in this part of the game, you're SOL. That was very dangerous. Once again, we're looking at any yellow level, any yellow room rather. See if we can't find a way out of here. So far, it's 0 for 6, so 0 for 4 so far. So the level's exit's gonna be in one of those 2 rooms up there. And that crazy eagle is one of the more nerve-wracking parts of this level. Okay, so way out's gonna be in one or the other of these rooms, and so taking a chance that the eagle wasn't just gonna dive down on my head. Whoops. No matter, I've still got plenty of lives and plenty of energy. be easier to... Or do I have plenty of lives? Wow, wouldn't it be funny if I got all that far and then wiped out at the end? Alright, so that's a complete game of Breath of the Dragon. I almost call it Breath of the Wild. Okay. So let me show you one more thing. That energy meter constantly depletes as you progress through the game. You also lose 5 units of energy every time you go through a door. Okay. Also, one more enemy we may get to see. That's what I want to show you. That's one more enemy that I wanted to see. Those are the spiders. Okay. That's kind of a heartbreaking sound. That's what happens when you run out of energy. The regular dying animation is kind of understated, but that one just really tells you that you screwed up. So that was Breath of the Dragon. I wanted to showcase it because you don't really see a lot of YouTube videos about it. It's a very rare game, and there wasn't a whole lot of information on the internet about it. But as you can see, there's an element of tension to it, and the controls took a little getting used to when I was a kid, but all in all, it's a fun game. It's nothing spectacular. And I don't really have a whole lot more to say about it, but I hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, thank you for watching.